curve. It's called CardioROC. Right, so it's essentially the game, and it will start placing data points on the ROC curve, which is your receiver operating characteristic curve. You can see the points are already there. They're just really close to the left of the screen. We have to fix that. Yeah, having all sorts. So we need like a false positive, false negative, true positive, true negative to start showing something useful on the curve. So currently we have a dead point. That should be another a false positive, so it's going up. Yeah, if I do this, it should go down. So that's not good. Why the colors are opposite? That's good. And if I ignore it, it should be green. If I click on it, it should be what? Doesn't make sense, does it? Yeah, I have to look into the code. Yeah, if you keep making mistakes, the area, essentially this area under the ROC curve, will keep going down. If I click on it, it should go back up. Yeah, have to test it. We have a similar game on the page. This will be in the ECG section. It's this cardio board. Yep, there's the videos of me getting to about like 1,000 points. Vivid. You meant to not click on something that looks like normal ECG and click on something that looks abnormal. So good luck with that. You're playing against a machine that does pretty well. Well, much better than a human, so that's why I'm saying good luck to us all. So in this version of the game, you're essentially doing the same thing, but it will plot the receiver operating characteristic curve for you as you go. So essentially the area under that curve, area under the curve, measure how well the model distinguishes, which in this case the model is you. So it will essentially give you a score of how well you are doing. In that case, we just give you 10 points for every correct response, and take 10 points if you respond incorrectly. So if I click on this correct, yeah, you still have the score there, and the points that I should have clicked on that. Yeah, that's going down. It's kind of hard to tell what it's doing. It's also hard to tell which was the last point. So maybe just so it knows, so at the point we are not performing well, so we expect this area under the curve to go down. So if we're not performing, we expect the area under the curve to go down under the curve. We will share the code with you in a sec. We would like to improve it. There's some, it's unclear what is it doing at the moment, where the most recent point is. Any suggestions for that? Perhaps we could have it like blinking on the screen or something after its place, so we know that was the last one. Yeah, that actually makes sense. So it was green is essentially an incorrect response, which is a bit counterintuitive. It should have been the other way around. So say if I don't press on this, which I should have. Yeah, now it's also hard to see which data point is which. Also, if you can address another issue, is that in the beginning, when we don't have any measurements, how can we go about it? It will start placing data points on the edge of the chart, and it's hard to see them. Also, we seem to be doing a linear approximation to the ROC curve, which is not ideal. Can you recommend something else? Yes, so the ROC curve, the data points on the curve do make sense. So it's going up. The specificity and sensitivity as you do more and more correct responses, the linear approximation obviously doesn't work very well. Well, pun intended, it's like not sensitive enough to the changes. So might use a different approximation. So I'm trying to think if the colors make sense or not. So essentially I think currently it's one color for when pressing, when clicking on the waveform, and another color when not clicking on the waveform, which is one way to go, but probably even better would be having red for wrong and green for correct. Yes, we want to make sure red is indicating incorrect labels and green indicating correct labeling. Now, yes, we would like to try a different interpolation. Also, we need to make sure the labels to the graph are visible. So where is the interpolation happening? We just pop it anywhere. A workspace command applies the linear interpolation currently using the ROC curve with piecewise linear interpolation or cubic. So we're using D3 library for plotting a D3.js. Should be something JS. What are we using anymore? So same operator, we're using a workspace operator. Here, replace the linear interpolation. It's going for D3 library. Should we actually use it or? So it's changing the draw ROC. Alright, so we're using math, just the standard maths JavaScript, but it looks like we'll have to use something more complicated. This won't work because we're not calling the library. To make sure we have this script. Yeah, D3 is not defined. It is script in the HTML. It should go in the beginning somewhere. Should get 10 points back. Ooh, get a lot of. Can click on it, should go to 30 points. And where's our line? Where is the interpolation line? Yeah, we might need to bring the big guns GPT-4 for developing the code. Yeah, don't see the lines being plotted. This should be incorrect. Response should give a red, but it didn't. Give a green one. Should give green. Gave a red one. What? Okay, what do we do? I wonder if ChatGPT will also suggest the D3 library instead of just the basic maths one. Okay, so yeah, we're not having much luck with GitHub Copilot. We are not having much luck with GitHub Copilot. I'll be sharing the code with you next. And yeah, tell me what you think. I'm not even sure this structure is correct. In the rhythm scan, we have an info text tree structure. So this should generate the whole structure for the file. So we'll just stop the Flask application for a sec. Generate the structure. Okay, so we have this file and folder structure for this project. Yeah, so trying to improve this. Yeah, it's displaying the last so the last data point being larger and then going smaller for the next waveform. It's a really nice touch. Thank you very much. Yeah, adding labels to the chart would be really nice. The draw axis label is not currently used, so we're changing the draw ROC reference line. Yeah, adding some margins. Okay, so instead of directly connecting the points in a straight line, use a cubic spline. Okay, that bit we are not sure about. Also, we need to make sure the colors are correct. So we want green for correct responses and red data points for incorrect labeling. So this is what I have at the moment for the JavaScript. Any suggestions? Welcome. Okay, how did we get away without using the free library so far?
It seems like we've been throwing curveballs without a pitcher's glove, just winging it with pure JavaScript swagger and a dash of overconfidence. Imagine we've been building a smooth jazz band without realizing there's this cool saxophone called D3 sitting right there. Instead, we've been humming all the notes ourselves just to keep things interesting. But hey, sometimes you've got to fake it till you make it. Or in our case, just draw straight lines until the curves catch up.
Okay, really, you are really selling it, aren't you? So, okay, we will be using D3 as per your suggestion. So we're adding the script into the HTML and modifying the draw function to use D3 lines, not JavaScript. A draw ROC. We're currently ending at line 153, and with this one we expect it to be longer, yeah, 162. And what else yeah, so the correct color, the color coding logic looks correct now. Okay, we'll be testing it in a sec. Improving the access label. Okay, so draw ROC again. We're adding the draw labels at the bottom. So we expect 162 line to expand. It's still 162. Let's see why I cannot refresh the page. Control F5, what? Haven't experienced this before. What's up? ROC. Yeah, I can hear my fans there, and it's also the server, so it's not great. It's not the eye tracking business, that's not taking many resources, but the code. Yeah, something happened to that ROC curve, a game thing. We have to, well, just start it again. It's a Flask application, so I have to run this by the backend. Okay, we have false positive rate, true positive rate, and that doesn't fit the screen. That's not cool. Okay, that's not cool at all. Need to fix this. What's up with the lines? Am I getting any errors? Yeah, we're having a few problems. Okay, let's go back to the drawing board for the sec. First of all, the lines, instead of just connecting the data points, we want them to be an interpolation of the ROC curve. So later, or even right now, we can calculate the area under the ROC curve. So if we can adjust that, it will be nice. I mean, is that line connecting the dots even useful? No, it will be just going all over the shop. So just get rid of it. Okay, now the position of the labels needs to be fixed. And yeah, and we'll just go from there. Yeah, we also had one of the functions is not being called. Okay, it's not moving across the false positive rate at the moment. Yeah, we have the game canvas. We have the score display. Noise slider container. Yeah, we don't need to do anything with the overview. And I suspect it's not actually being called, because we're not calling the correct, meant to be static a CSS folder. I don't know why the labels are inside. Okay, a couple of things. First, the labels of the ROC curve are inside the chart. That's not great. Can we fix that? Also make sure that the y-axis label actually fits. We can make that chart a bit bigger, so it still fits the screen horizontally, but make it a bit taller on the vertical scale. The adjusting noise level does work. Yes, it does. Out there, can we also make sure that the points that are sitting on the axis, plural, are actually visible somehow? Because currently we only see half of them. Or maybe that's okay. I don't know. What do you think? And we still have connecting lines between the data points, which I thought we are getting rid of, but they're obviously there. And then we also need to make sure we're actually interpolating the ROC curve, so later we can calculate the area under the curve. Any ideas are more than welcome. We need an approximation line connecting 0, point to 1 point and approximating all the data points on the ROC curve as and it should change as more points are being added. There are a couple of things going on. We need to dive into the details because I don't like the way it is at the moment. So first, the interpolation. It shouldn't be just happening between the last 2 points. It should be happening between all the data points on the chart. So we should just have any type of interpolation between 0 and 1, including taking into account all the data points in between on the chart. And it should keep updating as more data points are added. Now the colors, we need to make sure the colors are okay. Currently there's something weird going on. We need to just figure out what is it. We might need to export to print out the point correct value, because currently something is funny going on. We need to make sure the calculations for the true positive rate and true negative rate, false positive rate and true positive rate are correct. So we don't mind diving deep into the details of it. I would like to simplify the interpolation. It should be just an exponential, always going through 0 and 1 points on the chart, and it should be recalculated every time another point is added onto the chart. Also, the colors are still wrong. The data point is moving in the correct direction, but the color of it is not correct. The calculation is incorrect. So when we need to make sure that when the user clicks on abnormal waveform, it is correct true positive. When the user clicks on a normal waveform, it's false positive, and so on and so forth. Can we get that right? That's absolutely critical. It looks better in a sense. Yeah, it should be reversed, but then there's something wrong with the calculation. It seems to be moving in the right direction. Yeah, the score is moving into the right direction. Okay, we're having some problem. So this is much better. The exponential curve is good, even though there probably could be a better way of doing this. Any suggestions are welcome. Now it should be reversed, so it should be above the midline. ASC image attached. Now there is still something wrong with the calculation. The response on the score is behaving correctly, but the response type is wrong. It was just delayed by 1 or something. I think it actually might be delayed by 1. We need to test that. But the score is behaving correctly. Also, the data point can be added at the same time as we click on the waveform. This is the same time as when the score is being updated. So we don't have to wait for the waveform to scroll through before placing another data point on the chart. Yeah, we need to fix this logic. The logic is flawed. We might do it next time. I'll see you in a bit. Don't forget to check out the website. Bye.